Our 16th stop is Washington, the Evergreen State, where apple and cherry orchards flourish. From smoky volcanos to space needles, this rugged land has its fair share of bumps in the night. Join us as we take a bite of Washington and explore their tales less traveled.
Welcome back after our long hiatus.
What's up, guys?
So-
When is this going to be released?
We'll see.
Okay.
So we've got.
What is
I mean,
today?
we've all had a lot of stuff going on. I personally have been starting a new job, so these things might not be coming out as often as they used to, but they will still be coming out, and we might just have a little less formal of a schedule.
They may just be the same quality.
I mean, I'm not gonna release anything that's.
Brooke hasn't changed much, as you can tell.
Hey.
She needs vacation.
So,
We all do. Come on.
so yeah, we're in Washington.
You know, I love it up here.
It's raining.
It's so. You know, I'm expecting to see the clouds. This fits my vibe.
Yeah, I know Josh is crazy to find someone who could potentially sparkle in the sunlight.
I am.
You know what?
Oh.
Washington is beautiful.
I'm so tired of hearing about Twilight and Washington. There's so much good about Washington. Why do we bring up Twilight to start?
Hey now.
Well, we had to if we're in Washington.
Gotta go to the small town of Washougal, Washington.
Twilight Saga on Netflix, y'all. Anyone been watching? I have not
No
yet,
ad.
but I've got the DVDs with director's cut and deleted scenes. Thank
Yeah.
you, Brooke.
Yes, you're
Netflix,
welcome.
hire Boo. She's got you. She'll let you know what's out.
What was coming onto Netflix this month I was excited about?
That's a good
I don't
question.
have my phone, but
They're taking Avatar down.
it was a show.
Was it Scary?
I don't remember.
There's a couple movies that have come out that I'm interested to see, but in terms of like actual shows, I haven't really seen anything.
Chismo, you and I need to finish Fear Street. We've only seen the first one.
The first two, or the last two, have been recommended for me.
Alex, you'd like it. It has a little lesbian romance.
Yeah, there's some lesbos in that.
Wow, that was direct. That was direct.
I think that's the most informal you've ever said lesbian. There's some
Lesbos.
lesbos in there.
Lesbian.
I believe that's an island
This is
in
just
Greece.
how Boo talks to her
Yeah.
other friends, like when she's not with us. Like, yeah, I've got a lesbo of the sister. You know, it's pretty cool.
She's a big fat lesbo.
Her
If you
lesbo
didn't know,
They're both lesbos.
in between every episode of Tales Less Traveled, Alex and Brooke go back to their home island of Lesbos.
With Sappho's.
I would
poems.
like to. Is it inhabited by people?
I think so.
Yeah.
The Isle of Lesbos.
Yeah.
Greece?
Yeah.
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 I'd love to go.
You want to try it out?
I think you'd probably have a good time.
I'd be a hit.
And probably.
Hey.
So
Yes.
how do we feel about Washington? Do we answer
I
that?
like it. I really like it up here.
Yeah,
There was
I
a
love
phase
it.
where I really couldn't stand it, but now I'm back to like. It's
You
nice.
said it, not me.
Yeah.
You said it.
We've been having a lot of moments like that lately, where I've been just saying things that are on your minds.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfiltered.
You're pretty good about that, though.
Thank you.
That brings it out.
Thanks.
I've always loved Washington.
Oh, there goes the apple.
Since when?
Since when did you love? Okay, you know what?
Are you gonna eat
Don't be a
that?
follower.
Yeah, you're
What?
gonna eat your apple.
You're gonna eat your Washington apple?
I want my apple. Wait, you don't want the apple?
No.
Eat it.
No,
Eat
I
it.
said I
Eat
wanted
it.
my apple.
Oh, you do?
She wants.
You can have that half if you'd like. Because, like,
Have some
are you
fiber.
you a hungry little girl, aren't you?
You want
I
some
wanna eat-
cheese with that apple, you rat?
Yeah.
Oh, ASMR.
Oh, I'm sure some people are just turning this off. They hate that.
I can think of one of our cousins who might be doing that.
So,
Your cousin lover.
all right.
All right, let's jump into it.
This is Washington,
not
not.
we
This
have
is the Washington, not Alabama.
we have some delicious drinks that Josh prepared for us. Josh,
Yeah,
you want to
so-
walk us through?
So these are Washington apples.
And
Smell
remember,
hints of
Boo is about
apple.
to turn 21 in a few weeks, so still, for the time being, she is only getting the
apple juice.
virgin.
Yeah, so
Portion
it's
of this
it's
drink.
basically just apple juice, cranberry juice, and Canadian whiskey.
But
Yes,
with
sir.
Boo, it's just juice.
She's
I'm
drinking apple
I've
cranberry
got
juice.
a doctor's appointment.
Oh, that shit.
So let's see what we think of these. We're
Cheers,
gonna
y'all.
we're gonna try them live.
Ching, ching,
Oh,
ching,
listen to that
ching, ching,
plexiglass.
ching, ching, ching.
Oh, that sounded fake.
Yeah, it sure did.
2 stiff drinks and this woman.
Amen. Oh, no, I have another one. Where's my...
It's too late.
Oh,
It's too late.
You know what? I like it.
I'm gonna mix it up because I
hold
don't want
on,
the
maybe
alcohol.
I can think of one in my mind. Wait.
It's not bad. It's like a adult appy juice.
It's like a vodka and cranberry.
Oh, good.
but
Oh
More
yeah, it
apple
is kind of
juice.
like a vodka.
it's vodka
Alright.
and
You know,
cranberry.
you know what? You can cut this out. I love vodka crayons. This is reminding me of my high school days.
You can keep this in.
I mean,
I'll be
You give him 2 seconds notice. You know what?
I don't
out.
listen. Like
have to immediately
I don't think anyone's gonna get in trouble because you know what? No one at this table was there when you were drinking vodka cranberries.
At your party.
Yeah. You know,
And-
At least you're being
about it.
at least you're being responsible
And
now,
what-
and you're
and
like
what
just
is-
having the juice.
And what is some cop gonna do? They hear this and they're just like,
You were just
under arrest.
you could have just said this to impress us. Let's
you're
be
under
honest.
Yeah, I could have been lying.
you're under arrest for a beverage you
drinking?
consumed 3 years ago. Also, who hasn't drunk in high school?
I didn't. I didn't have friends either, but you know.
That's
Hey.
Yeah, I got one.
just
Okay,
a
okay.
tiny
really-
tiny
she really
I got
fiddle.
another one. I got another one. I got another one. All right, we're doing another toast. Okay, ready?
Brooke's got her
To
thermometer.
those who wish us well, and may the rest go to hell.
Wow. Great. Perfect.
Well, that's so nice. I have people
I
thinking
like
about
that.
other things in my health.
But they wish you well.
But those who don't wish you well,
May
they
they
can
go
go
to
to hell. You know what?
Well.
Yeah.
I might see him there anyway. Ew.
Oh, jeez. But I see those TikToks where it's like, when I go down to hell, and I
Check.
don't see my bestie. It's like, where are you? Me going up to Satan asking where my bestie is.
Remember when
Hey, you know
Lil
where that hood rat is?
Nas song dropped, Monero, and the people were like, "I'm at Heaven's Gate," and then you see him sliding down the pole.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that song was.
Have you seen the music video?
Yep, I did.
You know-
I just didn't know what the song.
No, I actually.
Montero,
It's so out there.
It's
I like
good.
it.
His
Though.
songs are
The song
a
is
bop.
good. Yeah, the song is
Yeah.
good. The video, after you were you'd watch it and be like,
He has the right to do whatever he wants with his videos.
Yeah.
I don't give a
I
fuck.
thought it was pretty fun.
you know, I wish him well.
Hey, there you go. You wish him
No,
well.
I don't agree with it.
I've been on a kick lately where anytime we toast, I'm just finding the opportunity to like throw some new ones out there.
Yeah.
Some of these will stick, some of them may not, but it's been fun.
It hit me like right in the jowls.
You know, it tastes good.
Yeah, Brooke's jowls are inflating right now.
Shout.
It tingled a little bit.
We're gonna have to go.
So,
Brooke, do you have an apple allergy?
You know what? Wouldn't that be convenient?
Josh, what do you have?
All right, so let's get into our little horror
Oh my god,
movie
he
trivia.
finished his drink.
He's got a smirk.
You
on
already
his face.
finished
Damn.
Yeah, we did a cheers.
That doesn't mean you. That's a shot, Josh. That
That's
is
how
a
you
shot.
can tell when someone's really had a lot of shot experience. in
Pent
their
up
life.
frustration
You know,
recently.
if he finished it,
Listen, I'm a
It's a little easier for you, juice.
listen, I'm a
yeah.
listen, I'm a big man. My family comes from the north. Is how we do things.
Shut up, Josh. What the fuck? My family come from the north too.
I was in the north not too long ago and I fell in love.
You know what? I will
my
say.
ancestors were Vikings. We pillage and drink.
Mine are the Irish. They just drink. So, I will say no one in my family is. I've never seen anyone, although I'm sure they have, partying, do like the whole shotgunning thing. That's
Oh.
really
I've done it once.
redneck. If you
feel-
continue to do it, not like party setting, and you're just like,
I've done it
yeah.
once and it's just not worth it. Why not like just
Does that
open it up
not
and
hurt
check
you?
it?
I've never shot.
it's okay.
So, so does that not hurt you? Because you're literally slicing into the can. So that's
no,
like
you
a-
push
Because the
in.
puncture's on the inside.
Oh, so it's
Yeah.
You,
I mean,
you
you're not
hold
gonna-
it to the side where you can kind of get enough of an air bubble where you pop it in, but the
Oh.
metal is inward and you're
Yeah.
just sucking out.
and
It
you're
is a little
not
red
you're not
now.
gonna be licking the can or anything.
yeah.
But
And you open the top too so the air can flow.
And it's like, bro, just enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, I've never done that. I wouldn't mind trying.
Yeah, I
to,
would-
but
I would
don't
do it.
think
I would
I'd be
try
very
it, but-
successful.
I'd try it once just to say, yeah, I've done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so when you turn 21, we'll shotgun a couple.
All right.
Yeah, let's
Truly.
do the back patio.
So,
Or no, those Bud Light seltzers that you guys
there
have
you
been
go.
raving about.
You know what? I'm.
They're pretty good.
I'm curious if maybe your sisters will have.
I
some
still have a whole
short.
case of Truly. Press my
I don't
press
trust your
seltzers.
seltzers.
Why? They don't make you burp.
Wow. They're not bad. They're not bad. And I never thought I'd say that. About Bud Light in general, and then a seltzer on top of that.
No, seltzers aren't bad. Look, they're the new man's weight conscious, but you still want to be fucked. Drink.
Alex went from
I-
downing shots of tequila to sipping on Trulies.
This is not true.
Yeah, this
This is not true.
That's
That
not
will never
true.
happen.
Don't ruin my name like
Yeah.
that.
She'll only have cocktails if they have umbrellas in them.
That's just fruity.
Yeah.
Fruity little drink because you can't shoot a whiskey right now. It's probably
So-
Slow dancing.
So a little fun fact about these Washington apples is that apparently the lore behind them is that there was something wrong. I think a bunch of the apples in the orchard got
There's a bug infestation.
yeah. There's a bug infestation, so they had a bunch of apples they couldn't sell. So they fermented all of them and made apple liqueur and then
Yeah, like an apple cider.
apple schnapps.
Fun fact: Carrie Underwood did not fall down a flight of steps.
Knew that was
We will
coming.
talk about this later.
Knew that was coming.
Okay, hold on.
Knew it.
We have yet to still host a presentation night to where
We're gonna live stream it on Twitch.com,
we
Twitch.tv.
should.
What does
Well,
that mean?
Like you just
You
make a
pick
presentation.
a topic and put
Any
your heart and
topic.
soul into it. Like I wholeheartedly believe Carrie Underwood did not fall down a flight of steps. I believe she was
That's a great
pushed by her
topic.
husband, and I have proof.
And I told Brooke,
I'll
make a
find the proof.
presentation.
I'll convince
put the
y'all.
facts, data, present it
I
to
will.
us.
I will wear my best suit and I will present that shit.
We'll streamcast it to the TV.
Yeah.
And it just
and
like
we'll
school,
and then we'll
you go
stream
up.
it to Twitch.
Yeah.
What if I give a presentation on like
Like, Alex
80s,
is gonna
80s horror movies? You,
that's
guys aren't
fine.
going to
do
care.
it. It's yeah.
No, if that's
the
what you're
point. That's the
passionate
point.
about.
Present any little like I did a presentation.
What about it?
Yeah.
that they're better than hard
I
movies
probably want to
today,
explore
or-
why they became so iconic. Because
There you
Okay,
go.
there you go,
Look at
yeah.
that.
I'd be interested.
Alex's, she'd be a really good cult leader.
That's my
Oh,
subject.
What was yours?
I don't have one yet, but
Okay.
I did one where I was like, who would I smoke weed with?
Yes,
And
and
it
that
was
was
just-
very
It
informative.
was different people, so like Snoop Dogg, Willie
Yeah.
Nelson, Casey Musgraves, and
And she ranked them all.
Saoirse Ronan.
Yes.
Oh, she did
Her
have
new movie looks pretty good, by the way.
Florence Pugh, and in each person I did reasons why, and then I rated them. Like I think getting high with them would be an 8 out of 10.
I feel like if I got high with Casey, that's a little intimidating because she's a pro. Same with Snoop Doggy Dogg.
I mean, she wrote an album basically.
Her album's gonna come out soon, guys.
I want someone that's like maybe a lightweight, like Florence. I feel like would be a lightweight.
That
Like I
sounds
could hang with Florence.
Maybe
I
Saoirse.
could hang out with one.
Saoirse, she seems the type
don't
that
need
she's
to be
like
high.
she's more of a drinker.
what was that
Drinker,
look
yeah.
you gave?
Yeah.
When you mentioned Florence, you gave this look, like
Oh
this
my
predatory
God.
look.
No,
I-
that's my older sister Florence.
What's her name?
Older sister?
Yeah, because
Isn't she younger than me?
She's yeah.
Oh, you mean in your celebrity like?
Yeah,
sister
because
rank?
who's Christine? Sierra Bogas.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
my older.
You can't.
She's the oldest.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, it's
yeah.
funny because Alex has a thing for all these girls.
And then Florence. Well, you know what? Keep
it in the family.
All right,
You
so
guys are
let's
fucking
let's move. Let's start getting back to Washington because we've gone a little off track. I'm going to try to rein us in.
Okay, go ahead. Yes. So what
So-
do you got today?
Off track, like
So we're
an
gonna talk
Amtrak.
Oh.
So I got to talk about our horror
Yeah.
based in
Guys,
Washington.
stop. Stop. It was a long time ago.
Brooke was a whore in Washington.
And it was a horror to see.
Yeah.
It's like one of those vocab books. Fill in the.
I had to
I would
You know,
hitchhike
take
you,
some.
know how, you know how like Seattle's known for being all rainy and wet. Well,
Yeah.
Brooke, never mind.
Oh!
Okay, so
Pretty good.
They
So-
originally named it. Oh, I can't say my last name, but Seattle. Hey,
yeah.
and they just got rid of the one letter.
Listen,
You
and
know,
let me
is
just
it hot in here?
let me just say,
Hey.
I've been getting some emails about people wanting to transcribe this podcast to make it
Really?
more accessible to people, and they want us to pay them to do it. I got a writing degree. I could transcribe this stuff if I want. I have notes. my notes on today's episode are 12 pages long.
This is
I don't
basically
need.
Josh's way of
I don't-
saying,
I'm-
stop sending those emails.
And you know
I'm
what?
feeling a little
Hold on.
attacked.
Hold on.
And to add on that, to those emails we've been getting about promoted on this, promoted on that.
Yeah, if
well,
you
you
want-
know what?
Comments?
Tell us what your freaking favorite episode
Yeah, I'm
is.
so-
Yeah.
Why aren't you following us
Wait,
on
wait, wait.
social media?
Wait, did anyone win the contest?
No, because the only emails we got are people being like, "Hey, love the podcast.
Oh,
Want to join
yeah?
our mentorship program?"
Well,
And I'm like,
We were gonna give you $25.
yeah.
No one
it
won.
freaking annoys me that I
Not
get these emails.
Not even your cousin.
Yeah. And you know what? I've replied to these people. I'm like, oh, tell me your favorite moment.
Did they
like,
ever
just tell me
reply?
what. No,
No,
they don't reply
they didn't.
because they just want you to join their little pyramid.
And you know
scheme.
what? On our freaking Instagram, these comments promoted on this. No, why don't you just promote us for free?
Exactly.
Guys, stop being mad at our audience.
Sorry,
We love you.
No, but I'm not mad at the people that listen to us. I'm mad at the people that try to pretend like they
The
listen to us.
posers.
Like that, yeah, the people that want to pretend like they're on your side.
Those OGs
This-
from
this
I
Colorado,
got heated.
Germany.
One could say
And it doesn't-
to those who don't wish us well.
Go to hell.
It doesn't even matter
I'll
because
see you there.
it doesn't even matter because they won't listen to this. I could.
Yeah, that's true.
I will. Maybe I'll start replying, being like, "Oh, check out episode 16, minute mark 16:35."
I
Fuck
think
you.
that's our answer. You know, I thought about being snarky too and replying to them and being like, oh yeah. I thought about being like, Pops.
Oh
yeah.
Pal, buddy.
They're just
believe.
they're just copy paste messages where they just
Yeah.
fill in information. So they don't care. They're not going to pay attention. They just want you to click the link and sign up. Whatever. So let's.
Washington.
We might have to cut this a little bit. That was kind of a little mean.
No, it's not. It's
We
fine.
all had some
Alright.
pent up
I
energy.
feel like, you know, that Britney Spears video.
Hashtag free Britney.
Oh yeah, where she
Um,
like
No, Slave for You. Where
Oh,
they're
yeah.
in that. That's how I feel right now.
Well,
sweating.
this is
Yeah.
a passion. This is a hobby of mine,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to let some
Poser.
frickin'
Nobody.
bastards try to oh, like I'm so naive, like I'm gonna sign up for your stupid mentorship program. No, I'm not gonna do that.
We, the Tales Less Traveled team, would like to say that our narrator's voice does not dictate how we feel about our viewers.
I own this. This is mine. I can say whatever I want. And if I'm going down, I'm bringing all of you with me.
you should do one of those audio edits where it's like beep.
It tells us travel narrator's voice.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Okay, we're talking about horror movies that take place in Washington.
Let's do
Okay?
it. Let's do it.
Because we've been going on too long. We're on like 18 minutes in and we haven't even talked about Washington. Holy, what a train wreck of a comeback.
We talk about cousins.
Let me tell you,
posers, hail.
PDX's airport is pretty nice.
It was hot.
Okay,
yeah.
so pretty famous movie you probably all know of, but it takes place in Washington, is The Ring.
You know, it's been
based
a
on the-
Where do they take the ferry from?
I
sorry.
have not seen I have not seen
Oh,
The
you've never
Ring.
seen The Ring?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I want to watch the original Japanese version, Ringu. Ringu.
The Ring is. Oh man, I can't even think
And then
about.
I'll watch that. But because that's die in 7 days after you watch the
Yeah, the
video.
VHS.
Yeah.
I've seen it before.
I've only seen it once, and it was with
Pearl.
yeah.
They
No.
they take a ferry, but that's
Yeah,
why I
I
asked.
think
in
I,
the movie.
I was so young
curious
when
where
I
they
seen
take
it
the ferry.
that
There's like an
I need to
island
see
with,
it again.
with a
It's
lighthouse or something.
Just a girl.
Yeah, it's like
It's
I think
probably
they go there. I
it's
think.
probably somewhere in the Puget
Just that
Sound.
girl. It's like
Yeah.
a whale. She
'Cause-
gets out of the whale.
And so
Really?
Yeah, she comes out of a whale.
The fuck? The well.
The well.
The whale.
Yeah, she comes out of the whale
The
with
whale?
Jonah
The whale?
in the belly of the whale.
Like the New England
Yeah.
whale?
Yeah.
The whale?
But yeah, I've heard The Ring is like one of the best remakes of a Japanese horror film.
If you so the actual VHS that they play, because they play it for you to watch as the audience, it makes me physically ill.
The ring.
There's the VHS. So The Ring is the
Yeah.
premise. You watch the VHS, you'll
Yeah.
die in 7 days. They show you the full clip of the VHS. It is so fast paced, and the things that they show make me physically ill.
I do have a memory of when I was pretty little and I was at this mall that is now closed down with my grandmother, and I saw a bunch of high schoolers going into the movie theater to see The Ring, and I just remember being like, I want to watch that. I want to see that. My grandmother's like, nope, you're not seeing that.
I want to watch it again.
It's okay. It's not the best horror movie, but
It's a classic.
Have y'all seen? I don't know if you've seen it, Brooke. I need to send it to you guys. But there's this like chart.
Do you want to hear it? Do you want a hair tie?
I would love a hair tie.
I would love a hair tie too.
Yeah, I can grab it. I'll hair tie.
It's just getting hot.
Yeah. There's
Guys
a chart of like an iceberg, and the tip of the iceberg is like, yeah, horror movies, but they're not super scary, and you keep getting lower and lower.
so they're like graded.
Yeah.
What's at the very bottom?
I saved it. Let me find it.
That
real
Chucky show starts soon on Sci-Fi.
Oh yeah, I want to watch that.
They got everyone back for that.
I've watched all the Chucky movies so far, so except the remake. I don't know how I feel because I like the
Audrey
idea of a
Plaza?
possessed doll, but I don't know if I like the thought of an AI doll.
With Audrey Plaza.
Oh yeah,
is it
she's
an
like the
AI
mom.
doll now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
The new Chucky's like AI.
There was a movie remake that came out like I don't know, maybe a couple months ago, a year ago, and yeah, he was like electronic doll. But now they're remaking a series on Sci-Fi.
You know, Chucky will always be scary to me.
I'll tell you what though, this
But those movies are pretty funny. Like they have a good balance of horror and comedy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
in the second, I think it's the second Child's Play movie. Chucky kills a nun with a ruler.
get it. Hey.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this isn't even the tip of the iceberg. This is in the sky. You have The Grudge, Conjuring, Annabelle, The Ring,
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street, whatever.
Yeah.
The Iceberg, Texas Chainsaw, Centipede, Midsummer. Apparently, I guess
Midsummer
is psychologically
is that movie
That's a
got good.
Tusk.
I wanted to see that.
Isn't that what the?
Actually, you
Kevin
know
Smith
what?
directed it.
I'm gonna
That's
send
about
this
the
to you
guy.
guys.
The guy that's turning the other guy into.
Justin
yeah.
Long. Yeah, I wanted to see that.
So I'm
He
honestly
freaking
like
put his house
I'm
up
not
for more,
I'm not huge on body horror,
yeah.
but I don't know how I feel about that movie. I have seen it, and it is just so disturbing to me.
Well, it's
That's
the same as Human Centipede.
Horror movie Iceberg.
Don't like Human Centipede.
Well, it's people's ideal of
Yeah.
horror is.
Okay, you know what? I found it.
His Kevin Smith's whole movie, what do you call it? Portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
Red State, which is all right. Tusk, which I'm not a fan of, and then the really weird. What is it called? It's
Honestly,
about
I'm
like.
fine right now.
Oh, thank you. It's about like.
You're fine. I have a thing. You're fine.
Guys, you're really making me want to start a podcast where we just talk about horror movies.
You can do that. We can watch it and then discuss it.
The very bottom. I've never even heard of these.
But what's the?
Snuff R73 most
But
deserved
I think it was
person.
like Kevin Smith's latest one. It was about like Nazi sausages or something
I have no
in
idea.
a convenience store. I don't remember the name
His
of it.
portfolio is very diverse.
Y'all look
Anyway,
on the chart and tell me what y'all think.
Yeah.
What? I'm sorry.
This
what
is the
Horror movie
your
chart.
horror movie chart. So like the bottom and in the sky, it's like they're horror movies.
Not as
but-
scary, and then
But then at the very bottom, you've got
what's at the
these-
very bottom?
I like the little picture on the right hand side.
I don't even Fetus Munchers, Volume 1 and
Let's see
2.
it.
Oh yeah, I sent it to the group.
I'm sure it's
Fetus? So I'm
Porn
assuming it has to do
gore?
with babies. Porn gore? That's
Porn
like, so when we watched American Horror Story, the circus one with Jessica Lange, and she has fake arms and legs, that's porn gore where people actually
Wait,
have like
so-
limbs cut off and shit.
This was, I think this is someone's opinion, but still, it's interesting.
Okay, they're putting like Cannibal Holocaust in the house that Jack built at that level. I don't know if I want to watch any of this stuff because like,
Hold on, wait, let me see it real quick.
oh, is this like because it's so like dark?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
There, you get to a certain point with horror where it's like, this is just really. fucked
It
up.
stops because like it stops
It's not
becoming
like scary. It's
it
like
stops becoming
it's
like
real life.
fun.
Yeah.
When it starts like actually affecting you and like unsettling you, like there's been horror movies that I've watched and I'm like, I feel like my life has changed because of how
What
disturbing
movies
that.
are those?
That's how I felt with Midsummer because it was so like I could totally see that out in the middle of nowhere.
Probably Hereditary.
Probably
Hereditary
because it's pretty
got me.
realistic
Yeah.
to a degree.
Oh.
The
Yeah.
realistic ones are always the scariest, in my opinion.
If I the cheesier, the faker, like this could never happen, the better for me.
Yeah.
But if I'm like this could actually happen, that kind of messes with me for a bit.
Honestly, after Midsummer, I've never seen any of these.
You gotta be careful because some of them are really really fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can
Like-
only imagine.
Like, I'm gonna be.
Like, you will be sick to your stomach and stuff like that. Like, you don't. There's some stuff in this world you do not want to see. To put it lightly.
Let me look up.
So she's like, let me look it up.
Don't. Okay, so did you say you're looking up snuff films?
Well, apparently at the very bottom, there's a movie called R7 Brain. I'm just gonna look up.
Boo, just be careful. And if you do, look it on private on your browser.
There's a movie that
you don't need to like.
there's a movie that I've seen parts of,
Big Brother.
but I don't think I could watch it, called the Poughkeepsie Tapes, and it
is
is
that on
so
here?
disturbing. It is basically like it's like shot in a fake documentary format where these like detectives and people are talking about the Poughkeepsie Tapes, which are the serial killer who filmed all this stuff.
And they show it.
Yeah, and they show the tapes and stuff, which, I mean, it's all fake, of course,
Yeah,
but it just feels
but
way too
still.
real. And like at one point, he even like kidnaps this girl and like cuts off her arm and gets her to the point that she feels like she can't live without him. And then when he like at one point in the movie, like spoiler alert, he like dies or something or pretends to be dead, and the girl, the survivor, the victim, goes
Kills
to his
herself?
she kills herself because he's gone.
Huh.
And like this guy like brutalized her,
Yeah.
and it's just too.
Well, it's not on the list, so.
I'm probably
So it doesn't count.
yeah.
Everyone's ideal of horror is different, too.
Honestly,
Real
I'd
life is
say-
always more scarier to
Yeah.
me than fantasy.
For sure.
Yeah.
Hands down.
yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's why, like, when I know that the thing is fake, that's when I start having fun. Like movies like
Your ages.
Nightmare on Elm Street
Yeah.
or Friday 13th. Those movies are fun because I'm like, I'm like, okay, yeah, like this is just. Although when I was a little,
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street
real.
scared me. I was
Yeah.
like afraid to go to sleep. But
So let
Chuck
me
is still a thing.
so let me take this, do a little bit like a little half turn. Be careful when you go off to school because I read something on Reddit the other day where there's RA, so the resident assistant or something. They had a party, and they supplied alcohol on purpose.
The RA.
Yeah, they supplied alcohol on purpose, and then their main job was to go around and drop Skittles in everyone's drink. By the end of the night, they said, "Did anyone find a Skittle in their drink?" And like a lot of people raised their hands and be like, "You didn't know I put a Skittle in your drink? That could have been a drug easily. I gave you alcohol for free. How would you ever know?"
Yeah.
So you don't know who's their friend.
that's a good learning
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
'cause-
good one.
Yeah.
Could you imagine being one of those people and like that would scare the shit out of me.
I would sing a
Right?
Skittle and it's like,
That could have been something else.
that's why I always just like, I would much rather serve myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then buy my own from
Yeah.
the store and just have it in my,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say that would probably be the smartest thing you could do moving forward.
yeah.
Especially in that setting specifically. Even if you become really, really like good
You
friends
still don't
with
know
people.
the closest people to you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey, why are you looking at
I have
me?
no desire to fuck you.
That's not it, but
That ain't
Wow.
it.
I'm just gonna put it out there. Just to,
wow. You hurt my feelings.
damn.
Ooh.
You were really
It's not.
pretty lady.
It's not mutual.
But we're family.
No, yeah, it is.
I'm gonna have to put a disclaimer at the beginning of this. I think I'm like, to get to the story, skip to like 30 minutes in or
Yeah,
something.
Yeah.
Because I
This
still
is-
have
this is all
more
interesting.
Washington. Yeah, no, it is, and I don't want to stop the conversation.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Midsummer. What does that say about my brain?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No, you are totally and completely normal. It just means that you saw something in it that you enjoyed.
If
and-
anything, I'm impressed that you really like that movie because it says, to me,
your brain is
It's-
unique to you and how you identify things. If you thought it was beautiful or artistic,
It was
then
artistic.
There you
Yeah,
go.
No,
it was
but-
good. I was like, yeah.
I
because
won't-
there's some people out there that watch movies like that, and I don't mean to cut you off. There's people who watch movies like that, and they just on any level they don't get it. They
Yeah.
do not get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's nothing wrong. Like that's fine. But for me, like I can't really connect with someone who can't understand certain
each
movies like
each
that.
movie is. I'm sorry, Josh. Each movie each movie is a piece of art in its
Yeah.
own form. So to enjoy it is to enjoy your art.
So what most unsettled me about Midsummer, which I haven't really heard a lot of people talk about, is there's a lot of horrible murders of people to the hands of this cult. But I have seen some people say like, "Oh, it has a happy ending because Danny like finds people that care about her." When they don't, they're a cult, and she's vulnerable, and she's being indoctrinated to a point where she feels like she doesn't have anyone to care about her. So she's like, it's like showing the perfect kind of person that these people seek out to bring into them because.
And then the next day. It isn't the festival anymore. They give much
and
less shit.
And the Midsummer, wasn't it like once every
100 years or something?
Yeah,
90
so
years.
Danny gets to the point where she's happy watching her boyfriend, even though they had a broken relationship, she's happy watching him burn to death.
I think it was just all like.
I think it just shows how broken she's become, and I think that's the most unsettling thing for me, which is crazy to me that I hear people saying that it has a happy ending because the guy gets what he.
I never thought it was a happy ending.
I think he is unfair to Danny because he's too much of a coward to like call things off because he feels bad, which I guess it's like a natural response. I wouldn't say the guy is a horrible person.
Yeah.
There's just
they want you to feel the moral dilemma.
He's resenting her. Like I don't know. They're both.
Justified.
There's just so much miscommunication between the two of them that. They're both at fault and they both feel like they're stuck in this relationship. And so I don't know, I think it's a little messed up when people are like, oh, it's a happy ending.
I know. I didn't know that people said that.
I've seen some people say that.
Yeah.
Which I think watching it, my first reaction before I thought about it was just like, oh yeah, it has a happy ending. That she, she's happy, like Danny's happy, so it's a happy ending. When it's like, well, there's a lot more psychological effects going on.
I think that
there.
was how I felt when I finished.
Yeah.
You know what I really love though? I wholeheartedly am the type of person to believe that you don't need an art degree to enjoy art or to understand art to a certain degree, literally. But I love when I pointed out to Alex, like when we're watching TV shows or something, and I don't know the moment that it clicked, but I was like, you see how the way that they're filming this, and they're specifically going in this direction, and they're making sure that you see this. This is important. And every way that something is directed, there's always something in frame that's going to be important, and they're going to touch back on it later. And when it clicked for you, and I was like, she gets it, like, that's so awesome. Like, now you can start putting the pieces together. And like when I pointed out still, there's some moments where your mind is blown, and it's like, but and then you kind of touch on it. It's like, oh my god, this means something.
Yeah, the face, you get high.
Which I like. You bring that up because I have a point about the next movie I was going to bring up about Washington.
Snapback.
Oh, it was like
a bird. No, that was my snapback hat.
Popped her. Ooh.
We're in like the nature part of Washington right now.
Mount Olympia.
So
yes.
So the second movie I was going to bring up about Washington was a movie called 1980's The Changeling. If you've heard about it.
Nope.
You've heard about it.
I've heard about it. I don't think I've ever seen it.
So, oh God, what is the guy's name? Hold on. I keep pulling up. George C. Scott stars in it. And, it's about this guy who moves into like this mansion in Washington. He's living by himself, and it's your typical haunted house movie. If you like The Conjuring, you'd like this movie.
Yeah.
I think the most famous scene from it is he's sitting in his desk, and a red ball just bounces down the stairs. And he picks up the ball, he looks at it, and in his mind, he's just like, I think at this point, he's kind of like trying to be like, no, nothing's going on in this house. So he drives off, goes to a bridge, throws the ball into the water, goes home, closes the door, locks it, and as he turns around, the red ball drops down the stairs. And you can see, like, from the camera angle that it's wet.
Yeah.
And that's I think that's like the most famous scene.
Yeah.
But I think it's shot so well because a lot of the camera angles, which I don't know if I want to say that they started this, but you see it a lot in like Evil Dead. But they have the camera, and the way the camera like follows him through the house or moves through the house, it feels like you're taking the perspective of the entity moving around the house.
Huh, that's interesting.
So you always feel
That's
like
cool.
he's not alone and like he's being followed.
Like the Predator.
And it's just like a really cool way to shoot the movie.
Wow.
Yeah, so I highly recommend it.
Okay. If I ever shot a movie
haunted
like
house
that,
movies.
I'd always have like hidden details not too far away that you couldn't see what it is, but it's like just at that
right
line
there.
where you're like you can't tell if if you're seeing it as it should be or if it's something a little bit different.
And that movie has a lot of stuff where like it's like he's like riding and the camera's facing him, and there's like an open door in the background, and then the door just like slowly closes, and
I like
stuff like
background
that.
detail like that.
But yeah, those are my 2 Washington horror movies.
Guys, what are you doing? What does it smell like?
Oh, it's air.
Oh, cold air.
Yeah.
Our AC
Yeah, for
is
some
broken. We'll be honest.
What do you mean? We're in Washington.
No,
we're
but
in
it's
the
hot.
woods.
It's hot. No, in the our little van wagon thing. It's freaking broken.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we
We bought
got,
this off Craigslist.
got to get that fixed.
What was it? The compressor died.
Something died.
95
sorry.
degrees in here.
Sorry if y'all hear that. That was a little bit of a knock.
So,
So yeah,
these are good.
Let's jump into it.
Yeah, let's start. This.
35 minutes then.
Yeah, I'll put like a thing in the description like, hey, the stories start here, but
yeah.
you know
It
what?
was good talk though.
Oh.
You know, we haven't been together in a while, so
Yeah.
You want to make like another podcast, but it's like
We
is
just
it, all
talk.
in
we just
with
talk.
Barbara Dunkelman and stuff.
Always open.
Always open, and we just shoot the shit for
Like
an
that
hour.
night in Colorado when we were
Yeah.
talking about like
Oh man. Yeah, we were talking about random stuff. Yeah.
nude sex.
Yeah.
And we were like
All the fun topics.
all the naughty
All
topics.
fun
Yeah.
stuff.
Naughty.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, that's right. God, you're a wonderful woman.
It's okay.
What have I said the past 15
She
episodes?
probably,
Hey, who cares? It's fine. She'll be fine.
as she's sitting there listening to it, just going,
She's.
Hi, Mrs. Whitehead.
Oh my god.
you pulled one of my moves.
Alright, it's fine.
That's alright. I'm
Hi, Mrs.
I'll just cut that whole thing.
sure. Yeah.
All right.
I'm sure I'll drop some sort of address and name later.
Yeah, we'll see. So yeah, we can jump right into it.
Let's do it. What you
All right.
got?
All right. So
Are you yawning?
no, yeah, I am.
Yeah,
That's the heat does it sometimes.
Yeah.
It
Has it
cools
really?
off your
Cold
body.
air.
That's why I was so tired yesterday.
Does he actually like
Yeah.
tire? Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
That's
I know it tires you out, but I guess.
Well,
in
you
terms of-
you yawn to cool yourself off.
That's why schools always keep it cold to keep you awake.
'Cause you're
But I never understood.
You're pushing
'cause
air through your sinuses and your ears when you yawn.
The cold air
My
always
dog's
made me
pants.
sleepy.
Coco
Coco.
snoring.
No.
Piggy.
We found a little dog on the road.
Two actually. And
Yeah, well-
we're taking care of him for right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Tried
seeing
to
what
run them
happens.
over, but they just won't die.
Damn.
Cut that out.
Nope. Only cutting one thing out this episode. All right, so we're gonna start off our Washington adventure. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
What'd you say?
No.
She said, "You're a boss ass bitch. Let's go."
How many stories do we have today?
I will find out.
Oh.
Keep going suspense.
So we're gonna start off our Washington adventure on a little island in the Puget Sound called Maury Island. Now, on June 21st, 1947, around 2 in the afternoon, Captain Harold Dahl was off the coast of the island patrolling the east side. On board, he had 2 crew members, his 15-year-old son Charles, and
Hey.
his dog.
Bark, bark. I was giving you some depth
That's
to the
good.
story. Hey.
Suddenly, the men saw 6 donut-shaped aircraft overhead in the sky,
Brooke, this is for you.
Thank you.
each about 100 feet across. The lowest of the group suddenly exploded and began to rain down a molten slag-type substance and dropped what thousands of what seemed like newspapers were in fact sheets of metal.
Wow.
The dog is hit by some of this debris and killed on impact, while another worker suffers a broken arm due to the hazardous material. Out of fear for their lives, Dahl runs the ship aground to the beach on Maury Island. Everyone on board runs for cover, and after some time it stops and the objects fly away.
Wow.
Dahl believes the strange incident is over until the next day he is visited by a man in a dark black suit driving a black car.
Oh, hell yeah.
The man in black tells Dahl
Men in black.
that he knows that he saw something out on the water the previous day and tells them that it would be in his interest to keep it a secret or something bad may happen. This encounter is also the first ever documented case of the Men in Black. So while this is going on, Dahl, of course, shares his story of the events, and people begin to talk.
Oh man, he gonna die.
That's how it always is. They gotta silence them.
Stop the story now. We know.
So hold on to that story.
This is like a Hallmark
Because
movie.
we're flipping over perspectives.
Oh.
So
The perspective of the Men in Black?
No, why would they talk?
They made a movie.
Why would they talk?
So 3 days after Dahl's experience on Murray Island, on June 24th, a private pilot named Kenneth Arnold is flying his aircraft near Mount Rainier,
Hey, I
looking
climbed that mountain.
all the way to the top.
Rainier?
As top as you can go, yeah.
Like the
Oh.
leader of
Yeah.
Nexium?
Rainier.
Well, Rainier.
That was Keith Raniere.
Oh, Ranieri. Well, close.
Spell the same.
No, there's an E, I think, at the end.
No, his
Yeah,
name
the mountain is probably named after him.
Yeah. Nexium.
Nexium Mountain. Cut that out.
So,
No affiliation.
So Kenneth Arnold is flying his private plane, looking for a marine transport plane that had crashed. He's hoping to claim a $5,000 reward for finding it, but comes across something much different. Close to almost 3 p.m., Arnold decides to give up the search, and just as he's heading back, he sees flashes of light just north of Mount Rainier. The skies have been clear all morning, but now he sees several disc-shaped objects flying in formation, about 9 in total. Arnold estimated that their speed was to be about 1,700 miles per hour, 3 times faster than any man-made aircraft at the time. Arnold lands and begins to tell what he saw, and the story spreads like wildfire. The next day, newspapers are already publishing stories of what he saw and even coin a new term for these unidentified aircraft, flying saucers.
That's neat. Okay.
Not flying donuts.
Imagine there were no flying donuts.
Well, he refers to them as they looked like saucer-shaped aircraft in the sky. So the newspaper, which
Too lazy to...
from the Chicago Sun, which I have a clip, it says supersonic flying saucers sighted by Idaho pilot.
What was he doing in Washington?
He's looking for the.
I know.
Down it.
Get it? We just did Idaho.
I know, and now we're in Washington. How about that? Also, I think it's important to say that 2 weeks after his sighting on Mount Rainier, an object crashed outside of Roswell, New Mexico on July 8th, 1947.
Oh, yo! Very cool. That is the Roswell incident.
Yep,
Very
which we'll
cool.
get to on a
Wow.
later date.
That's dope.
So between these stories, J. Edgar Hoover begins to conflict with the Army over jurisdiction as there's fear that the Soviets are entering airspace over Washington. The Army assigns 2 seasoned pilots, both who had served in World War II, to investigate Maury Island and the aircraft sightings. By this time, about a month has passed since the first encounter with our friend Captain Dahl on the island. The pilots collect samples of the debris and slag from the incident and store it aboard their bomber aircraft.
Nice.
They label the contents top secret and begin their flight back to base. Unfortunately, an hour into their return flight, their aircraft unexplainably catches fire and they crash. Both men die on impact.
Oh,
Men in Black,
horrible.
man.
They don't care.
So back to our friend Harold Dahl.
Alright.
He's not doing well.
Oh,
Wait,
poor
I thought you said Captain Doll.
Yeah,
His
Captain
name's-
Harold Dahl.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Um,
You gotta be respectful, Josh. No, he's Captain.
so
He
in the
earned
well, we're
that
friends now,
title.
so it's Harold.
Okay.
So in the
As long
month
as he
since
told
he
you that.
told his story,
Harry.
in the month since he's told his story, his son has gone missing. His business has been vandalized. He becomes sick. Mysteriously, it cannot find what's wrong. On top of all of that, he's become subject of public ridicule.
Wow.
Dahl makes an official public announcement and says that he has made the whole story up, nothing out of the ordinary happened, and that the whole thing was a hoax.
Poor guy.
He also says that he does not want any more ridicule and would like to leave peacefully as a liar. That summer would be known as the Summer of Saucers.
Summer of '69.
And that's it.
Wow.
That's
the
crazy.
story.
That's sad for him, though.
Yeah.
But that's what he felt the need to do because at the time no one else was talking about it. You're gonna be called a crazy guy.
And your son goes missing, your
Yeah.
business is destroyed.
Yeah, like
Probably
that's
went
probably
after his son.
the
Yeah.
Men in Black. Easiest way to do it. Josh, I don't know. You probably didn't notice this while you were reading, but these 2 girls looked at me when you said Roswell, New Mexico incident and asked me via whisper, "What was that?"
Oh my god.
So they will find out when it is.
There was no question asked to you, actually. She and I
Ask each other.
I mentioned something to her. And
What is
she
it?
said something.
What is it?
What did we say? I forgot.
What is the
See?
Roswell, New Mexico incident?
No, I
It's the
said,
aliens.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
no.
What's the issue?
Okay,
What's the issue, Miss Shay? What is the...
You had apple juice and cranberry juice.
Name drop number 2.
Oh, they don't know your name? Your last name?
I don't think they know
Anyone's
names.
Hans.
Or our address, even though I've given out Josh's address a couple times.
What's the issue with Roswell?
Nothing. It's because at some point, because the things were tapping on the...
We didn't hear.
Yeah.
And she was like,
What did they
was
say?
said? And
Yeah.
I was like, I couldn't.
Okay, Roswell, New Mexico.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
okay, there
So
you
that's all.
I apologize.
Can we resume class now?
Yes.
Thank you.
I wanted to shame you.
Yeah.
Well,
I know. I saw her look and I couldn't do it. Y'all want more? I can make them.
what, with
No.
juice?
Yeah.
I'm still
No, I'm good. I got a coffee.
Also, I don't know how much whiskey's left.
Oh, I don't want to waste it.
Holy beef for him, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't. You keep it. I don't want to take it.
Well, that was interesting stories. I did not know the first sighting in the United States was technically.
First mention of the Men in Black and first use of the term flying saucer
Yeah.
in a month
Yeah, that is
apart.
pretty cool.
That is very crazy to not. That's probably why I felt like I was at home there.
Washington?
Yeah.
Oh,
Take me home.
and there's
Me?
a mural. If you look up Maury Island incident mural, you'll find this, which is posted. And in the mural, you can see the aircraft.
Looking like
This one's
velvet.
raining down
Yeah.
all the debris onto Captain Dull's ship.
Yeah.
There's the man in black in his black car off the coast. And then you can see the plane of the 2 men that catching fire.
Wow.
Where's this mural at?
Washington,
Well, yeah, but with.
Maury Island.
Oh,
Now, when you say Maury Island, is that literally like
an island.
an island off the coast of Washington?
Actually,
In the
one
Puget
short.
Sound.
Don't know what that means. From being
Puget
honest with you.
So Washington is a square,
Yes.
and there is the Pacific Ocean comes in like this into the square.
Like
Okay.
where
And this
Seattle
whole
is all
area
down coast.
is called
Yeah.
the Puget Sound,
Ah,
and there are islands in the Puget Sound.
okay. Yeah, I've never
He-
It's
actually
like a
looked
big
at it.
bay.
He explained this to me before our episode today, so you're not the only one. I had no idea what the fuck
After
was.
this episode, I'm gonna go hang out upstairs and read these.
Our bus has an upstairs.
Duh.
We
paid for the
Double decker.
So we actually got a London Decker someone was selling on Craigslist.
and we took it, added some curtains in,
Yeah, we did
windows.
it. Yeah, we did a top to the upper
And
deck.
weirdly enough, the upstairs of this tour bus has AC.
And a stripper pole.
Yeah, I like
Some
to
of us enjoy
practice. Me, I like to practice.
It's good exercise.
It is. Y'all know
Yes.
it's good core workout.
Y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here, up in here.
Actually, I think the most appropriate song would be "It's Hot in Here."
It's getting hot in here.
So hot.
Take off all your clothes.
All your clothes.
I am getting so hot.
You know, you guys keep complaining about how hot it is, but you guys keep going off subject.
He's telling you guys to shut your mouth. Wow, the turntables.
How the turntables.
All right.
All right.
Sorry.
Oh, it's so hot. I need to stop because I need to go upstairs. What does this remind me of? What song can I think of?
What is the sound? The Puget?
Yeah, that was a serious question. I didn't know what that looked like.
Let's
Yeah.
continue.
All right, so
Yeah.
Cutting it back in.
yeah, so while Bigfoot is reported to be seen in every U.S. state,
Yeah.
Washington State has the most abundant sightings, as many come out of the forests of the Pacific Northwest. Most sightings in Washington come from the western half of the state, where there are denser forests, but also that's where the larger population area is.
Right.
I don't really have any real stories of Bigfoot.
They have
There's just a
Bigfoot,
lot.
they have Bigfoot crossing signs.
There's so many.
Like I feel like there's a largely, it's probably the most well documented cryptid outside of like Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah.
But
And every country has their own specific snowman. Bigfoot,
Yeah.
like the Impossible Snowman, the Yeti, the...
Yeah, but I think Bigfoot's also the only cryptid to be seen in every single state, even Hawaii.
Yeah.
Oh, true. No, not Chupacabra.
Chewbacca?
No, there's one that they show putting bedding back.
And it's like, that's a lie, but now I'm scared. That new
I
show.
hate that channel or that news.
Channel?
Primer Impacto.
It's
I don't know
like
if
the
we've ever
news.
pointed it out to you, but yeah, it's a Spanish channel news on 21.
It's like TMZ.
It's
No,
they
it's-
give you some little bit of truth of information,
but
the rest of it,
it's exaggerated.
It's like an Inquirer magazine.
yeah, it's like they're like, and then tonight,
Cited.
yeah,
Chupacabra.
And they show pictures of like some weird thing. And
Of a
then
kid dressed up in a wolf costume running around.
and they'll interview people, and then the people will be like,
saw
"Yeah, I saw him." And it's
yeah,
like,
and then aliens, and then
Yeah.
it's kind of I don't like watching it because it's gross too because then they'll talk about like
Medical stuff.
yeah
drugs.
yeah
and
drugs, medical stuff.
It
they'll
is.
show-
Yeah, they'll show gross things, and I literally will be like,
That's a crazy news channel.
"Turn it off," because you can tell.
You poor guys. Is the Mexican population just subject to that? How would they know?
How would they know?
How would they know if it's any?
One of
you
these
know.
days, Josh, I'm going to tell you to tune in, and
No,
just so you can
just
see
look
how
up-
outrageous this
No,
channel
just look
is.
up like a YouTube playlist thing of crazy
Yeah.
things that they've recorded, and it's like, oh.
But yeah, I was just wondering what it would have been for Mexico, like their version of Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, because I think Chupacabra's only been sighted in the southwest U.S. states.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, it's
Chupacabra.
I don't know if I
It's
want
all,
to. I don't know if I want to get into that because that's a whole nother thing of like, Chupacabra started off as like a reptilian-looking alien type, like two-legged alien thing with big red eyes, and turned into
Wow.
a hairless dog.
Well,
So,
we
I don't
saw
know.
a bobcat last night. The other night. Yeah. Right.
Oh, that's a Chupacabra.
Yeah.
A baby one.
It was a cute little baby bobcat. But I was like, shit, I want to take a picture now. Because he's like, no.
Those things will take Coco away and eat him.
Yeah.
Oh no, go.
Yeah, we saw our neighbor's cat, and I was like, do you want to text him and let him know that there's a bobcat?
man, she had one.
Honestly, that neighbor's dog. And that
It's
neighbor.
a cat. Oh no, not the
Yeah,
Chihuahua. No, this is
Yeah,
our
that
black
one, I don't know who-
That
yeah.
one, I could care less.
No, the neighbor that's nice to us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's cool. Anyways, so
This is good.
yeah, Bigfoot in Washington.
I got some pretty big feet. I was in
You are
Washington once. You ever seen me when I don't shave?
Case confirmed.
Yeah, there we go. We figured it out.
It was Brooke.
All along.
Every now and then she'll just borrow.
I don't shave and I go out there.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
Oh,
That's
geez.
exactly what happens. Brooke will walk out naked. Brooke catches her last second, goes, "Oh my god," and then just stays in the
Someone
van.
drives by, gets a picture of me, and they just see like all the hair.
That mochi's
Yeah.
so hot. You can tell.
He's melting. Because mochi.
It's hot.
It is hot.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right, story
Honestly,
number.
okay, on
Let's
the.
go.
Can you imagine the calories we're burning though?
I don't know.
Is that why this drink is hitting different?
It's hitting different, right? It hit. What?
What? The juice?
What do you mean, Brooke?
Honey, I'm a little older than 21. I can have some adult juice.
Well, what did you mean by it's hitting different?
So Josh,
It was hitting different,
It
right?
hit different.
let's get
Yeah.
back on track.
Are you guys ready for the second sentence I have in the Bigfoot section?
Heat rises, you know.
All right. So I've kind of been avoiding Bigfoot or talking about Bigfoot much on this show, just because I feel like it's so well documented that there's really nothing I can add. But I feel like it's important to mention it for Washington just because of how abundantly seen it is in the state.
Would you say it's a tale not less traveled?
Oh man, this is hitting you, isn't it?
Oh
Josh
no.
has this face that's like, God damn it.
Like,
Yeah, this is a
God
tale
damn it,
travel.
Brooke.
I took an upper and a downer.
So
yeah, though.
So the sightings of this creature have gone back since before the 1800s, as Native Americans in the area have their own tales of seeing large hairy man.
Sorry.
Near Mount St. Helens, there was a gorge named Ape Canyon. The name comes from 1924 when locals encountered several ape men in the area. During the encounter, one of the ape men was shot and fell into the gorge where his body was never found. On average, there are around 17 to 20 Bigfoot sightings in Washington a year, but there is more than one Squatch in the area.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
There's zucchini, yellow Squatch,
Yeah.
butternut Squatch.
Aside from the Sasquatch, we'll start off in the Mount St. Helens area. So in 1980, the largest volcanic eruption in U.S. history happened when Mount St. Helens exploded, destroying the entire mountain, killing 57 people, and spreading ash and debris across 11 states.
Can I just interject real quick? I was there in the 2010s-ish,
30 years
teens-ish,
later.
and there was still, like, nothing. Like, the trees were still burnt in half. Like, everything was still... It was crazy.
Wow.
You should look up before and after pictures
Oh, it's
because
nuts.
there's like pictures of before Mount St. Helens erupted, and it's looks like a mountain with snow caps and trees surrounding it. And then afterwards, it's just like someone just took a chunk out of the mountain, and it's just kind of like
That's crazy.
Yeah, and the tree life still at that point wasn't growing. It's nuts.
yeah. So while this volcano was erupting, and some people believe that there was a creature sleeping dormant underneath the volcano, and the eruption awakened it.
It was a grim.
Through the smoke and ash, onlookers saw the shape of a demonic creature rising up into the sky, and because of their local legend, they began to refer to it as the Bat Squatch.
The Bat Squatch is kind of cute.
The Bat Squatch is said to be a large humanoid, clocking in at more than 9 feet tall, and the size of two fully grown grizzly bears. It is said to have piercing yellow eyes, blue-tinged dark fur, razor-sharp teeth, and a wolf-like muzzle, and bird-like leathery wings, a broad muscle-bound torso, and its wingspan is around 50 feet. It is also said to be able to disrupt radio and television signals and cause cars to stall, which leads to our next sighting.
Wow.
In April 1994, Brian Canefield was driving in Washington's Pierce County when his vehicle suddenly stalled and he got out of the car to check the engine. He popped the hood when something crashed onto the roof of the car, shaking the whole vehicle. Brian froze and slowly lowered the hood and saw the creature face to face. The Bat Squatch was staring him down, growling, and Brian took off running. When Brian got back to town, out of breath, nerves completely gone, and the back of his shirt was tattered and ripped.
Wow.
Over the years, hikers in the Washington wilderness have spotted the creature flying through the canyons, flapping its large leathery wings. Today it has become a local legend and shares multiple similarities to other cryptids like the Mothman. Both seemingly being harbingers of disaster and misfortune. Where they differ, however, is the Bat Squatch's aggressive nature in directly attacking hikers.
God, that would be so cool.
Here's
to
a
see.
depiction of him.
To see? Okay.
Oh, it looks like that Disney gargoyle show.
Yeah, looks like a freaking gargoyle.
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
I would
Can you
love to see.
imagine?
I would love to see anything in person. I would
Me
be
too.
scarred for life, but my God, I'd love to see
Me
it.
too. Scarred for life. Scarred for life, or
Always be in the dark. Yeah, you want to be scarred for life?
I
I don't know. I'm quite fine.
Depends on the intensity of it too.
Look, you only have one life, and for my life is who I am. With this one life where I am Brooke, reincarnate, I want to see all the stuff.
Brooke, what?
Reincarnate.
Is Brooke your only name?
No,
Okay.
but in this life I am Brooke. So
Wow.
in my next life I might be not. Yeah.
I'd hate to be the guy that ran into that, and as you're running, someone catches you in your back, and you're like, ah!
Cuckoo!
It's like you get to town, and you're like, what the hell?
I know, and then everyone is just like, "Nah, you lied. You just had a rough night.
Yeah, I just had a rough night with that
you're
hooker
making
home."
stuff up." Yeah,
Everyone's had a hooker.
old Washington hookers.
Hey,
Damn,
I hear they're a different breed.
There's something out there. Are you texting during our show?
There's a little tap.
I'm texting Talon.
Take me home. I want to go.
It's I don't want to say his name.
I just got my nails done.
I actually need to get them done before I leave.
Forever.
The 18th.
Damn, Josh.
I'm leaving the 18th.
18th.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.
Victory.
Leaving the 18th.
So what is our next story, fine gentlemen?
All right. So our next story is the Jake Bird curse.
Shake.
Guys, I hope we weren't going to talk about this.
What?
You know this?
No.
Oh, okay. Is this personal to you?
I must go.
You should have told us before Josh did his research.
Oh, right.
You know he has to finalize things.
Yeah.
So, moving to the city of Tacoma, just 30 minutes south of Seattle, we'll find a strange series of events that happened back in 1947. 1947 once again. So
what was in the water?
this is right. This is right after all those UFO sightings.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
So at 2:30 a.m. on Thursday, October 30th, 1947, Tacoma police officers Andrew P. Sabutis and Evan Skip Davies were dispatched to 1007 South 21st Street to investigate reports of screams emanating from inside the residence.
Oh, no.
As they approached, a barefoot man ran out the back door into the backyard and crashed through a picket fence. The two patrolmen immediately gave chase. After scaling several more backyard fences, the fugitive was finally stopped by a high fence and cornered in an alley.
Sounds like the guy from last night.
Dude, what happened?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow.
He
Look
pulled.
what you've done.
He pulled out a jackknife and attacked the officers, cutting Davies' hand and stabbing Sabutis on the shoulder. Officer Sabutis, a former prize fighter known as Tiny Lamar,
Don't mess with Tiny.
he subdued the
Tiny's
assailant with a left hook to the jaw and a kick to the groin.
Wow.
After the fight, the prisoner was taken to the Tacoma General Hospital by Officer John Hickey in a patrol wagon.
Wow.
There he received treatment for head and face lacerations. Sabutis was admitted to St. Joseph Hospital with severe back wound, and Davies had the cuts on his hand stitched and bandaged. When police officers entered the residence, they found that Bertha Cludd, aged 52, was dead in the bedroom.
I'm sorry, these names are something
I
else.
know, tiny.
Adjacent-
1947.
Or Hickey.
Tiny hooker.
Tiny Hickey.
And adjacent to the kitchen, the body of her daughter, Beverly June Cludd, who was 17, on the kitchen floor. Both women had been bludgeoned to death with an axe, which had been left at the crime scene.
Ouch.
Detective Lieutenant Earl Cornelison determined that an attempt had been made to sexually assault Bertha Clutt before she was killed. Beverly
I didn't hear
June.
that right.
No, you heard it right.
Okay. Clut?
Clutt.
Okay.
Alex.
No, I'm sorry.
That's like the fourth time I've
no,
said that
I know,
name.
I know.
We're not trying to
but
be
it's like-
funny,
no,
Alex.
Each time I'm just like, Clut? Okay, go ahead.
It's Kludt.
Oh,
Oh,
blood.
okay.
No, not the C word.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know.
I know, but-
1947, I know. They
I
wouldn't have
get
done that
that.
back then.
Good avenue.
Beverly June, hearing her mother's screams, apparently dashed from her upstairs bedroom into the kitchen where she encountered the assailant and was murdered.
That was serious.
Yo, why do you always laugh at these murder stories? Like every time you always crack up when they die.
What did you expect? A happy ending?
Well, kind of.
Where the tales less traveled.
I just sometimes when you
She heard her mom being sexually assaulted and then she died.
That's so funny.
You know what they say? Sometimes when you're uncomfortable, you just can't help but laugh.
I will see you in hell.
I will see you in court.
All right, sorry.
So Bird was interrogated by Detective Lieutenant Sherman W. Lyons at the Tacoma City Jail, where he dictated and signed a confession in the presence of 4 police officers. His confession stated that he entered the Clutt residence through an unlocked back door to commit an easy burglary. burglary. He brought along an axe that he found in a nearby shed to bluff off anyone who tried to bother me, he said. He removed his shoes. Bird sneaked into Bertha Klutt's bedroom and stole $1.50 from her purse.
That's so messed up.
When he returned to the kitchen, he turned around and found Bertha standing behind him.
Alex, it was messed up that he stole $1.50, but it's not messed up that he killed the people.
Listen, dogs, you don't mess with them.
Oh my god.
But you said Bertha was right behind him, though.
Yep.
Okay, and then
She died.
Bird told her that he only wanted her money and his shoes, and then he would leave. But then suddenly Beverly June grabbed him from behind, and a fierce struggle ensued, resulting in the deaths of the two women. Bird added that he thought the policeman would shoot him when they had him cornered in the bushes, so he attacked them with his knife. After a short trial, Bird was sentenced to hang.
Hey.
Which, his story does not make sense at all. He's like, oh yeah, she tried to stop me, and in the ensuing struggle, I killed them both.
Yeah, no self-defense on that.
Yeah,
Just straight
so
up murder.
after his conviction was announced, Bird was allowed to make a final statement. He spoke for 20 minutes, noting that his request to represent himself had been denied and that his own lawyers were against him. Bird then said, I'm putting the Jake Bird hex on all of you who had anything to do with me being punished. Mark my words, you will die before I do.
Oh my goodness.
And
Edward D. Hodge, Pierce County Superior Court Judge, dies of a heart attack at age 69, January 1st, 1948. Joseph E. Carpatch, Pierce County Undersheriff, age 46, dies of a heart attack, April 5th, 1948.
When was he officially hung?
I'll get there.
Oh, sure.
These are in order.
Wow.
George L. Harrigan, Pierce County Court Reporter, age 69, dies of a heart attack at June 11th, 1948. Sherman W. Leons, Tacoma Police Detective Lieutenant, age 46, dies of a heart attack, October 28th, 1948.
What was in the water?
James W. Selden, Bird's defense attorney, age 76,
this is a bad prank gone wrong.
dies of a heart attack, November 26th, 1948.
That's
Can you
nuts.
do some like witchcraft?
Oh my god. Girl, he put this whole story is him putting a hex on people.
So in his final statement, he says he's going to put the hex on everyone.
He slipped him all a roofie.
Yeah, one that this one's gonna work for you at this point.
And then in May of 1949, a Washington State Penitentiary guard dies of pneumonia.
Well, you know that one. Okay.
Bird is then hanged July 15th, 1949 at 12:20 a.m.
So he was the last one.
Sometimes I listen to our episodes, so when I hear them back, I'm like an audience member where I'm like,
I just start talking and you're just like, who's texting me?
but when I listen back to them,
You're like,
She doesn't remember the stories at all, so it's all
and then,
that's all
and then you
brand
hear
new.
your commentary and you're like, wow.
oh no.
You would. Sometimes I do the same thing.
That was a very interesting story.
Dang, that's too much coincidence.
It is very. That's a lot of people.
All these people dying of heart attacks.
That's maybe it's radiology from the sheet metal.
Yeah, from the UFOs that year. Okay, so we're back in Seattle. The Pioneer Square area of Seattle, specifically. Originally built on tidelands and was prone to flooding, after the Great Seattle Fire of 1889, it was decided that the city would need to be elevated to stop the flooding and to keep the sewers draining into the bay to keep from sewage backup. Shopkeepers and landlords began to use the new ground floor for businesses, and those that had access to the underground section of their buildings began to use it for storage. So you ended up having this network of tunnels that used to be the street level connected underneath the city, and it became the Seattle Underground.
Yeah, okay.
Pedestrians would use ladders to go between street level and underground to get around. In 1907, due to fear of the spread of bubonic plague, the underground was condemned and basements were left to deteriorate.
That's so cool, though.
Due to the illegal nature of the underground, it was soon used for illegal flop houses for the homeless, gambling halls, opium dens, and speakeasies. Today, only a small portion of the underground is available for tours, as the majority is unsafe for people to explore. So you have these just dark, pitch black tunnels and rooms that just go all over the city. That are just, they're dangerous. There's fear of, falling rocks and collapses. It's not recommended to go down there.
Right.
But through the years, as a safe haven for criminals, the underground has seen its fair share of missing people and murders.
There it is.
Ghosts are said to move in the darkness along with the rotting wooden furniture of buildings of 100 plus years ago. And who knows just how many spirits roam just under the thousands of people going about their daily lives. So I've actually been here.
Oh.
Yeah, I took a tour of the Seattle Underground, which it kind of looks like this for the most part.
Yeah,
There's a bunch
cool.
of like basement underground tunnels.
Yeah.
In some areas, you'll just see like these pieces of furniture from like turn of the century that are just kind of like
So cool.
rotting and
Huh.
put off in the corner, and just like everyone just left it as it was and,
That's so
and
cool.
moved on.
Did you feel something? Did you see something?
No, they did have a ghost tour of the Seattle Underground, but it was at night. We didn't have time. We were just in Seattle for a short time, and I wanted to go, but it's cool because there's some areas that just have these like stained glass ceilings, and you can see people walking above you.
Oh, that's so cool.
Can
Yeah.
you see down into?
No,
Oh, wow.
because it's like stained glass, so you can't really see through
Yeah.
it. But above, you can see like the shadows
Oh,
moving
that's
through the
so
glass.
cool.
Yeah.
You know where else they offer tours?
So apparently at the ghost tours, they like.
I would love to take a ghost tour.
What are you saying?
I said, you know where else they offer tours?
I don't know. Where are you going with this?
Yeah.
Chernobyl. Chernobyl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That show.
But what? The actual real life event? Chernobyl? Yeah. But why would you? Isn't it so radioactive? Why would you ever?
No, it's not to dangerous levels anymore. Just because they noticed that wildlife was returning to the city, and animals kind of have a sense about radioactivity. Because Chernobyl was completely abandoned by all wildlife for years, and then they started seeing deers and birds start
Yeah, but
roaming.
I also found other animals that had like the abnormal, like an extra limb here or there from
Chernobyl's
it
in
too.
Washington.
No, that's in Russia. But
It's
sometimes because
That's
just because a tour is offered doesn't mean you should take it. The more you know.
So, okay. I'm just thinking of any tours I've taken, and I'm like, should I have taken it?
well, maybe the more exciting ones are the ones that are 21 plus over.
Dang.
Yeah, so from what I've heard, Chernobyl is. As long as you're not like living in there, it's relatively safe to go and visit. It's kind of like the site where what is it called? The site where they were testing the nuclear bombs in
Japan?
New Mexico.
Oh.
The site is
Also
only
lots of
open every 6 months, twice a year for a single day, and you can go in and like visit it.
Wow.
But they close it for the rest of the year because
It's so.
it has such high radioactive
Yeah.
levels that you could only handle just visiting it for one day.
That's so interesting, though. So interesting. So, with the underground stuff, though, in Seattle, like, how do they keep from people like going? And I'm thinking like homeless people or whatnot.
Oh, I'm sure people would go down there
Oh, okay.
and
'cause I
just
was-
explore. I'm sure, like, if you go to YouTube and type in Seattle Underground, like spelunking or something, you'll
Yeah.
find people just exploring in the darkness.
I mean, that's what they do in China. They have a population of homeless that live underground.
But it's
And they
probably
live
like
there.
full. It's probably like full of water and rats and
yeah, just
all
things you
kinds
wouldn't
of-
want to mess with.
yeah. Because these are the areas that they tour, and like you can see they've like installed lighting and stuff. But this was built, 1907. They didn't have
They wouldn't
lighting,
have
so
yeah.
it's just like dark,
really cool.
cold, wet tunnels.
I would be down to do
A
but-
seance?
No.
In the tunnel?
Maybe a ghost tour. I actually
Live
would be opposed.
portal opens. I'm excited
Yeah.
to manifest it.
I took some pictures, but nothing came up at the time. But that was back
You need a Polaroid. That's why you need boo.
when I went down. Last time I was there was 2012. Yeah. Yeah.
cool.
Yep. So that is the Seattle Underground.
Wow.
I'd be down to visiting it.
Yeah. There's a whole.
Maybe we should do it after this.
We got another one to go. One more story.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I only got one more story for
Okay.
today.
All right.
Then we go upstairs to the little therapy munchkin.
All right. So
All rise.
All
Moving-
rise for the judge.
moving an hour north from Seattle, we'll find what was once the largest facility for the mentally ill in Washington State.
We're near BC, Canada. I was gonna say BC, but we're not near BC. We're near Canada though.
Yeah, we're near Canada.
Near Victoria.
Yes.
Not Victoria. Yeah,
Um,
I know someone from there.
so this is the Northern State Mental Hospital, which was pretty much a town unto itself.
Yes. Town of crazies, if you will.
So it's known as the Northern State Mental Asylum, Northern State Ghost Town. Regardless, there's just a bunch of buildings. They've mostly been abandoned. Some of them are still used for rehabilitation. But
Damn.
the hospital was established in 1909 after the overcrowded conditions at the Western State Hospital came under public criticism. Northern State's grand opening was in 1912. The Olmsted brothers, whose father was famous for having designed New York City's Central Park, designed the landscape at Northern State. Renowned architects Saunders and Lawton designed the hospital's buildings. They worked in close collaboration with Northern State's farm superintendent to create a self-sustaining and therapeutic colony for the mentally ill.
God, that sounds so cool.
You know, the mentally ill.
No.
Yeah.
Not that part.
They're the coolest.
Self-sustaining.
You know, a lot, like, I think we mentioned one, I don't know where it was. Where was
Yeah,
that?
where they built the thing and then they jumped off of it.
Yeah, because
the
they
tower?
felt that, like, giving them something to
Like a
do,
purpose.
like,
Go for the view.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Yeah.
giving them something to do, giving them, like, daily tasks would help rehabilitate them.
No, it just ended with.
I mean, it helped for the most part. It's just some of them
Some of them, you know,
some of them were just a
they were
little,
creative.
some of them just wanted to die.
Some of them just
Yeah.
wanted to experience life.
So yeah, the hospital site included patient and staff housing, a water reservoir, sewage system, lumber mill, quarry, steam plant, greenhouse, canning facilities, a gymnasium, a library, laundry, dining room,
Wow.
bakery,
This campus has it all.
Wow.
dairy, and a 700-acre farm for growing vegetables and raising livestock. A cemetery was also included.
This is like the
nice.
perfect post-apocalyptic. Like they could self-sustain.
Yeah. So at one time in the 1950s, about 2,700 patients lived at Northern State. This was the full capacity of the hospital, according to the superintendent at the time, but he was under pressure to take on more patients. The public perception of the mental hospitals began to change in the 1970s, and Northern State Mental Hospital closed its doors in 1976 after the state legislature cut off funding. Some of the buildings, including the farm's housing ward, have been torn down. A few of the remaining buildings are currently being used for Job Corps projects and drug rehabilitation centers.
Okay.
The active buildings at Northern State are off limits to members of the public, but much of the former property is now part of the Northern State Recreation Area. It is located just north of the Skagit River near the town of Sedro-Woolley. The recreation area has an extensive trail system that will take you through the wide open pastures along forested lanes, past still-standing barns, milking sheds, canneries, and other structures used during the hospital's self-sustaining past. You can also visit the old cemetery, which is the resting place of at least 1,500 people.
Want to go? I wanna go.
And all of the information I just mentioned comes from the Washington Trails Association's website.
Let's go at night.
Okay.
So, but this is what the site doesn't say.
All right. Let's get it.
According to some reports, patients died at the facility from all kinds of experimental treatments,
Yay!
including electroshock therapy, sterilizations, and botched transorbital
That's right.
lobotomies.
Oh.
Your electrical, electroshock therapy is good for the skin.
To no surprise, the location is said to be haunted. People have seen ghostly figures moving in the building, spectral nurses pushing wheelchairs, screaming and moaning in the dark hallways, and even whispers coming from behind. So this is one of the main facilities, one of the main buildings that is still
Yeah, I wouldn't
standing.
go in
I
there.
feel you don't mess with
Yeah.
juju at mental
go there.
hospitals.
No, you don't.
But
No,
yeah.
because I mean, that's a lot of that's a lot of sorrow. That's a lot of like
Heaviness.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to deal with that.
Man, they had everything too.
They had a bakery.
Self-sustaining town. Yeah.
You think they made macaroons?
They probably had a cafe.
Cafe Olay.
Yeah, I will say that is the first like abandoned asylum that is also considered a ghost town because of how self-sufficient it was.
That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
It just they lost funding and just cleared out, left to rot.
So would you guys ever be down to like actually doing a tour of an asylum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Abandoned
Yeah.
asylum?
Yeah, I mean, like a legit
No,
tour
like,
company,
like
or you're
we
saying
do it ourselves.
I wanted to do one in I wanted to do one in Fredericksburg when we were down there, but
wait,
No,
you're
by
like splunking,
I don't know what that means.
exploring.
breaking the law,
Yeah,
Oh.
trespassing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's essentially what you'd be doing if they don't already host their own tours there. I would during the day. At night, I really have to have like liquid courage plus
Same.
like
Same.
either a pistol with me
Yeah,
or like
same.
a taser.
Because
or,
you don't know what.
Alcohol and guns makes
'Cause-
sense.
No,
Well,
but you know what I mean.
Haggard said misery and gin
Well,
don't go well.
well, I was talking to a friend about this, being
Yeah.
like, yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
cool to do because I was just thinking of like ghosts and stuff.
You know what?
But-
Homeless people are living there.
Well, I was gonna say
Or crimes?
what my friend mentioned was like, oh, what if there's like crackheads living in the
Exactly.
and they
There's
just
that.
attack you on site.
There's that.
Yeah.
I didn't think about
That's
that.
I would go during the day,
Yeah, maybe.
but like
Have you
we
se-
are not like you go this room. We are not doing.
We're
that
not
shit.
separated.
I don't know if you've seen those videos, but there are like spelunking videos where people are just walking around and then a homeless person just charges them
Yeah.
from the darkness.
There was we
Starts
watched
screaming and running at them.
we watched that one Nuke's Top 5 where the guy was underground and it was like some water place and
I
he
was
saw a
thinking,
snake.
like, it's
But then
a
he
nuke.
turned
He
off
saw-
his light because he heard someone walking around,
Yeah.
and then he had to wait for like an hour until he felt comfortable to leave.
Yeah.
Mess with
I
that.
wouldn't, yeah, I wouldn't mess with that.
Well, these are really good.
Transition
I'm a
time.
little hot.
No, I understand. Heat doesn't help when you're drinking any kind of juice, let alone just
Do you
sitting in
wanna
heat.
cap us off, Boo? Are we doing a spin the wheel, or what? Are we just gonna tell them we'll figure it out? when
We'll
we figure
figure it out.
Let's spin the wheel.
All right,
So-
Boo. You wanna cap us off?
Okay. Thank you for listening. You can follow us on Instagram at taleslesstraveled and send us an email at taleslesstraveled@gmail.com
A friendly
because a friendly one where you're not telling us,
Guys,
promote it on.
Relax. It's been a while. We also apparently have a Twitter and a Facebook too, but we don't
Hey,
know
we
that
have
we
a
did.
Facebook.
Yeah, we have a Twitter and a Facebook, but we're not as active on those.
Yeah.
We're
how
really
about that?
not, but you can find us under the same name.
Yeah, just like
It's
a
Twitter,
TL Traveled
Twitter
and-
is TL Traveled and Facebook is Tales Less Traveled.
But we usually just do Instagram, Tales
Yeah.
Traveled, and
So follow us.
taleslesstraveled@gmail.com.
Send us an email and be legit.
And don't ask for stuff.
Don't
I'm not here
ask.
to-
We're not here to
I'll
please
provide
you.
I'll provide stories. But if you're asking for shit, I don't care.
Wow.
This is a hobby. I'm not looking for you to
That's right.
I'm not looking to
you can
join your
go.
club or whatever.
We're just
Okay.
four friends.
We're just a group
We
of
are a
friends.
group of friends.
Anyways,
Okay,
where
all
are we going?
right. Viewer discretion advised. This episode
that's gonna
contains explicit language, and also our views, talks amongst friends, while they may potentially be tipsy, does not at all affect our love of our viewers.
3 out of the 4.
Soon
I
to
am
be
sober.
4 out of 4. I'm
Oh, yeah.
sober too. What?
Then why the fuck are you bashing people that listen to us? We love you, baby.
Where are we going, Josh?
Wow. It's funny. It's kind of fitting with the rest of our opening story. Going to New Mexico.
Yay!
Okay.
Roswell!
Wow, let's do
Yeah.
it.
So
See you guys.
Beep boop boop bop beep bop.
Anyways, she's out, but in the meantime.
this podcast isn't over until I say it's over.
Okay, here we go.
Anyone who leaves
Here's
now is fired.
Wow, you guys
Big
are just like
boss.
ready to strangle each other this time.
Big boss, talk
My-
over here.
She's supposed to be in charge of social media, but she
Wow.
doesn't update Facebook, and she leaves before we're done.
Oh man, attack me now. What do you have to say about me? Damn.
Brooke, you're perfect.
Oh, God, here we go.
Alex, you can do some more.
No,
Damn.
thanks, I could.
Mochima.
All right.
Anyways, guys,
Quiet.
it's
This
been
is a short
great.
episode.
Is it?
And we spent the majority of it talking about other shit.
But I think that might be fun though. I think.
Okay. Sorry, I can't hear you. You're not in front of the mic.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, hold on. Why do we have to keep bringing in lawyers? We already have Brooke's lawyers. We had your lawyers.
Look. I gave him back the podcast. All right, we figured it out. He paid me back for it. It's fine. It's fine.
She tried to sell it to one of the people reaching out to us.
Yeah, they're like promoted on blah 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 blah, and I did. And you know what? They charged me cash, and that's when I said, Josh, I can't afford this. This is not a hobby for me.
Well, in any case, I'm glad that it's still within our domain, Josh. I guess yours, whatever.
And you should cap this episode off with some Twilight.
Nope,
No, that's the last thing he's gonna do. All right.
I see.
Bye.
Excuse me. Brooke, phone down, please. Ma'am, who are you texting?
I was looking under breast chafing.
That's fair. That's fair.
You guys ever put like grains of sand and then get pearls at the end of the day?
I wish. I'd be making a lot of money if that was the case.
All right.
Come, guys. I sell boob pearls on Etsy.
What?
Oh, that could be a part of our show.
Poop?
Boob pearls.
What is that?
You put like a little piece of sand under your boob, and then you just walk around all day, and at the end of the day, you get a little pearl.
Oh Lord.
I mean, it sounds messed up.
100% guaranteed.
I don't know. Should I keep that in? Who knows?
Yeah.
It's probably fine.
That's alright. We're all human.